So I came back from Dr. Joe Dispenza's 7-day retreat in Dallas 3 weeks ago. A lot of my friends have been asking me what the retreat was like, what did I get from it, how do we actually meditate. So this video is my honest review of the retreat and what I've learned from it. Let's go. One of the reasons I really wanted to go to Dr. Joe's retreat is that I have been a big fan of his work. My favorite book of his is Breaking the Habits of Being Yourself. If you want to go to your next level, you need to become that person. When I look back at my past selves, I feel like they're all that, I'm just like the new me, and sometimes I look at my past videos, I'm like, oh my god, what is this girl talking about? That's why I'm also so excited about who I would be at my next level, and I feel like she's waiting for me. But the older I get, the ceiling has become more invisible. So I wanted to go to this retreat to understand what was really blocking me. Even though that meant flying all the way from Hong Kong to Dallas, that was in total 17 hours of flying. I just thought that if I were to spend this amount of money, fly this amount of hours, I had to make this retreat worth it. Somehow, right before I flew to Vancouver, some events triggered a wound from more than 10 years ago. I don't want to talk about the experience here because I don't feel like I need to relive that again. But that's a story about me betraying my own judgment. It was so bad that at one point, I just thought I wouldn't be happy again. It was that bad. I have been the model child in my family. In my family's eyes, I'm the girl that has figured it all out. I'm strong, independent, no one needs to worry about me. That's also why I didn't tell anyone my pain. I just kept it all to myself. I went to work, I smiled, I continued whatever I needed to do. So 2 days before the retreat, I relived the experience over again. I remember how much pain I felt, how lonely I felt. But the thing is, when I was reliving that experience, not only I felt the grief all over again, I was feeling so much resentment towards myself, and that part was the hardest. But thank God that was only 2 days. Imagine me reliving that experience for a whole month before the retreat. That wouldn't be nice. So that's the good thing about it. Thankfully, it was only the second day of the retreat. I had this epiphany when I was meditating that everything was meant to happen. I'm not making excuses for anyone. I believe everyone has their karma and their lessons, and I have mine. And my responsibility is to learn mine and grow as a person. It was painful, but there's no need for me to relive those past stories again, and that's exactly what Dr. Joe taught. The more you relive the past, the more you reinforce that identity. So if you want to become your next level self, you need to believe in a new future instead of believing in your past. That's the decision I made on the second day of the retreat. I decided that I'm gonna rewrite the whole story. I've been subconsciously telling myself how people took advantage of me, how I was a victim, how I should protect myself. I decided to rewrite it as a story that even when things happened, I still chose to stand up for myself. I was very brave. I was so brave that I climbed the corporate ladder. I built my career, my practice, and eventually this life I really love right now. Without that girl in the past, there would be no me today, and definitely not this life I absolutely love. When I rewrite my story that way, those people are no longer relevant. I just love myself so much. I'm so proud of her. She's not the victim. She is the heroine in my life. So already on the second day, I felt like I had a new identity. I also realized this wound that I recently discovered is not only haunting me mentally every time I relieved it, it has shaped my perspective on how I should interact with people. I felt like I needed to protect myself because everyone is selfish and they only care about their self-interest. And there's some truth to that, but if I operated from that mentality, that wouldn't help me in my personal relationship and definitely not in business. Business runs on trust and partnership. And if I'm always guarding myself, it is very hard to take things further. So I gave myself a new mantra to repeat every day so that I can rewire my brain to believe in a new possibility. And that is, I am fully loved and supported by myself, by others, and by God. Since I got back from the retreat, every time I have this inner voice telling me that, oh, this person is selfish, I just repeat this mantra. And this helps me not only to calm my fire, but also helps me go back to my desired state, which is peace and calm. This is one of the biggest breakthroughs. So that was only the second day, and I already felt so much lighter. The thing is, if you go to one of these retreats, once you get into the room, your energy is already so high because energy is contagious. When all this positive energy is gathered in a room, even if you have negative thoughts, you'll feel so much better. For almost every day, the section started at 6 a.m. So I woke up at 5 to get ready, and we needed to be by the door by 5:30, I think. That was very early for me, and to be honest, for most of the days, I was sleep deprived. Actually, every day of the retreat, I was sleep deprived. I had a lot of epiphanies during the retreat, but I'm just gonna share another one that is really mind-blowing, which happened on day 5. So on day 5, we were supposed to start our section at 4 a.m. Yeah, 4 a.m. So I woke up at 3 and I got to the door by 3:30. I think that day I slept 3 hours. And we started our meditation at 4 a.m. When the meditation ended, I looked at the clock. It was 9 a.m. And I was like, what the fuck? Because I couldn't believe I just meditated for 5 hours straight. 5 hours straight. And I'm a person that needs to go to the washroom every 2 to 3 hours. So I didn't know how that happened. The meditation definitely felt long to me, but it didn't feel like 5 hours. It felt like 3. So in a way, I think I transcended time. And that experience was a big moment for me because I never knew that my body could do a meditation for 5 hours. That got me thinking about what other things I thought were impossible are actually possible. Dr. Joe always says this. We need to train our mind to overcome the big 3: our body, our environment, and time. For me, the 5-hour meditation is an example of me overcoming my body. In a way, most of the time, we misunderstand what is mind and what is body. We think that it is our mind speaking to us when it is our body. For example, your mind says, I should do this. But your body says, hey, you're tired, let's do it tomorrow. Or your mind says, I want more for life. And your body says, that's gonna take a lot of work. Why don't you think about it tomorrow? This is an example of your body taking control of your mind, the servant taking control of the master. And this is the point of meditation, taking our power back so that the mind becomes the master again, and we do not let our body tell us what to do. It takes a lot of willpower to overcome that old conditioning that is stored in your body. But the more you practice breaking that pattern, for example, when your body tells you, let's do that tomorrow, you tell your body, no, I'm gonna do it now. Then you're breaking the pattern. The more you break the pattern, the more you recondition your body to a new mind. Just sharing with you, since I got back from the retreat for 2 weeks plus already, I've been waking up at 4:30 a.m. to meditate for 1 hour, and I too feel like I've conditioned my body to a new mind. Going back to the story, after that 5-hour meditation, these days, even 1 or 2 hours is an easy job. So it is a little bit confusing if people tell me that they meditate for 5 to 10 minutes. But still, I'm a big advocate of meditation. So even if you're just starting at 5 minutes, that is still a good start. Dr. Joe always says, your personality creates your reality. And our personality is often shaped by what we believe about our past. And the more we relive our past, the more we let that shape our personality. And for me, that was the story running in the background that I didn't even notice. I know a lot of you, myself included, like to spend a lot of mental energy thinking why someone is wrong and why we're right. But my question to you, after dollars, is that do you want to be right or do you want to be free? This is something I ask myself a lot these days. I want to liberate myself from my addiction to resentment, to judgment, not only of other people, but also myself. This takes a lot of practice. And with meditation, I see hope. When I meditate, I can connect to nothing, but also everything. These are some of the epiphanies I've got from Dr. Joe's 7-day retreat. It has been a transformative experience for me. The only regret is I wish I went there earlier. Now I'm doing the work. I meditate every day to rewire my brain to the future self that believes in possibility, that believes in love. Even if after watching this video, you are not going to Dr. Joe's retreat, it's perfectly fine. It's not cheap, honestly. But there are a lot of things we can do. We can meditate, we can pray, we can just be kinder to ourselves and others. And that would make everyone's life so much better. I hope you enjoyed this video. I look forward to seeing you in my next one. See you!